When the lights go out and the world grows quiet, some places don't sleep, they remember. Tonight we step into the shadows where history whispers and the dead refuse to stay silent. You're listening to Books Paranormal Podcast. Before we begin, I want you to imagine this. A street that shouldn't exist anymore. Buildings that have been torn from their original ground, rebuilt brick by brick, but something came with them. Tonight, we are not talking about legends. We're talking about a place you can still walk through. A place filled with laughter during the day, and something else entirely when the gates close. Welcome to the Black Country Living Museum, Episode 5, They Never Left. The Black Country Living Museum opened in the 1970s, but nothing here is new. Over 80 buildings were dismantled from across the Black Country and rebuilt on this site. Homes, pubs, shops, schools. Now these buildings saw births, deaths, disease, violence and poverty. Children worked, men died underground, families starved quietly beyond the brick walls. Some paranormal researchers believe places like this don't need tragedy to be haunted. They only need repetition. Daily life, absorbed into wood, stone, iron. And if that theory is right, this place is soaked. Here's the unsettling part. These buildings were moved, not abandoned, not destroyed, just moved. Many paranormal investigators believe that residual hauntings, emotional recordings, attached to physical materials. So when these walls were lifted, the memories may have been lifted too. And staff didn't notice at first. It was sort of a feeling, a presence, like someone standing behind you. Now that was until people started seeing things. In the chemist shop, staff have repeatedly reported seeing 3 elderly women dressed in period clothing. They stand together, talking and waiting. Staff assumed they were visitors, until someone went back inside and the shop was empty. They weren't hiding. They didn't leave. They simply weren't there anymore. At the museum, there's a well-known pub to the local area called the Bottle and Glass. Staff looking up there have seen a man watching them from the upper windows, always when the building should be empty. One staff member reported footsteps following them, stopping when they stopped, and then, "Hey!" someone heard, but no one was there. The schoolhouse is one of the most disturbing locations on the site. Investigators have reported voices answering questions. Furniture has moved during vigils. One investigator reported hearing a child whisper directly behind them. No children were present. No speakers. No explanation. Beneath the museum lies old mine shafts. Hundreds of miners died in the Black Country, crushed, suffocated and forgotten. Some investigators believe the land itself is disturbed, unstable, but still remembering. Visitors have reported sudden nausea, pressure headaches, and just general overwhelming dread. As if something below is aware that you're standing above it. Skeptics point to acoustics, like old timber, drafts, the power of suggestion. But here's the problem. These experiences happen to people who don't know the stories. Like staff, builders, cleaners, people who really weren't looking for ghosts. They just kind of found them. The Black Country Living Museum is not a haunted house attraction. It doesn't try to scare you. That's what makes it worse. Because if these things are real, they're not performing. Sleep well, and we'll speak again. Thank you for listening to episode 5, folks. That was the Black Country Living Museum. It's another one that's pretty much on my doorstep that I've been to a lot of times, and I love the place. You know, it's cheap to get in there, so if you're ever local to Dudley, check it out. You can spend all day there, just literally walking around, seeing all the old buildings and taking part in activities and stuff. But yeah, that's just a little short one, just to introduce the place itself to people that aren't aware of it. The next story thing I've got coming out is another spin-off. It's called Books Paranormal, The Dark Reality. Now I've left a few teasers in the last couple of ones that I've done. Well, this is going to be all about true crime, serial killers, unsolved mysteries. So something kind of different, but in some instances it does relate to the paranormal. So I'll just see how that goes. I'm just doing stuff that I enjoy doing, and hopefully you guys enjoy listening. But yeah, if you do like it, drop me a like, comments, follow, subscribe, whatever you need to do. Facebook's growing. We've just been approved for stars, which is awesome. The YouTube itself, we're growing in subscribers, so I do appreciate it all. Every share does help. But until next time, folks, I'll leave that with you.